You're watching Everfree Radio.
You're watching Everfree Radio.
You're watching Everfree Radio.
Yeah, while they're letting people in.
Yep.
Let's do it.
And now, Everfree Radio presents Stay Brony, my friends, with DustyKatt.
Fillies and gentle colts, welcome once again to another marvelous day here in San Jose, California. I hope it's wonderful where you are. We're having wonderful weather today in the 70s. I was out riding my motorcycle, having a good time, and waiting for this gentleman to join me this evening, one Peter New. Peter! You there?
Hello!
There he is! Say hi.
Everybody?
Where's everybody? Well, they're out there. Out there.
Oh, how?
Yes.
How is everybody?
How's everybody out there? I'm awesome. They're all awesome. So, we all know you from one little cartoon. I think it was called My Little Pony. Yeah, I think you do that. You do that show, right?
I think I can remember that show, yeah.
Yeah, I think you do that show. What some people don't know is you do more than one character on that show.
I do.
Everybody knows the big red character with the apple on his butt, but this little video right here, I think will introduce you to the depth and breadth of the acting chops that this gentleman has, I think. So, without further ado, we're going to show you a little bit more about the gentleman we're about to interview and about who you can ask questions in just about half an hour. So, enjoy. We'll see you in about 2 minutes.
I'll take a bite out of this job by day's end.
Biting off more than you can chew is just what I'm afraid of.
Wow, good morning, Rarity.
Mother! Mother!
I'll have you know that Sweetie Belle here cooked this yummy-looking breakfast all on her own.
Well, that all depends on your recovery, but I'd say a few days minimum. Please excuse our interruption. I'm Jet Set, and this is my wife, Upper Crust. We saw you from across the cafe and just had to find out.
Where did you get that simply marvelous chapeau?
Rainbow Dash? Rainbow Dash? Rainbow Dash!
I thought it looked a little country.
I told you it wasn't something you could get here in Canterlot, dear.
Huh.
Rainbow Dash? What are you doing here? Anything wrong?
Beautiful day we're having.
Yup. I think I know what the trouble is. A severe case of lazyitis. You're from Ponyville? You're fine, Rainbow Dash. Give it some time and you'll be right back in the swing of things.
Any big plans for tonight?
Nope.
You gonna eat that?
But I've got such a long to-do list.
Important ponies, these ruffians?
Don't make me laugh.
The train to Canterlot is about to leave. All aboard is coming aboard.
Big Mac?
Yup. Rainbow Dash, what in the world is going on? Why are you stealing slippers?
Hey, get back to the hospital.
You have something stuck in your teeth.
Oh, come on!
Well, this has been strange.
Yup.
ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Peter New. Yes, that was awesome.
I thank you. I thank you.
Yes, because I showed them not only Big Macintosh, but Rarity's father, which was completely different. Then you had Jet Set, who was again completely different. And then you had the train conductor, who had his own little hitch to him. Dr. Monitor, for an entire episode, you had a new character. And then you also did the uptight pony in Hearts and Hooves Day, which I couldn't get in there because it was part of the song. But you did all of those characters, which were completely different from each other, and all in like one season. So wonderful depth to your voice acting. I mean, does that come naturally to you to just be able to go from character to character like that?
Yeah, I mean, it does come naturally. It's one of the reasons why I thought perhaps voice acting might work for me. But at the same time, you know, they pick and choose pretty carefully what they want out of a voice when they ask you to do it. So at the same time, for as naturally as it might come to me, it might also be a bit of work to get to the voice that they're actually after for a particular character. So it's always a bit of teamwork.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. When I saw on your IMDb that you had this list of accents that's like this long.
Yeah.
And it's sort of weird that you can do all of those different little accents. How long does it take you to actually get an accent down?
It depends on the accent. Another voice actor once told me that it's really not about getting the accent right so much as doing an accent the way that people think that the accent ought to sound.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's not a question of doing a totally appropriate Australian, for instance, but you just want to do something that sounds Australian. You lean on it in a way which is comedic and
sort of like Australian beer commercial.
Yeah.
Instead of Australian.
If I were to be cast, you know, in a film where I had to play an Australian, I feel the pressure was on. When I did Imaginary of Dr. Parnassus, for instance, Terry Gilliam wanted me to be an ambulance attendant with a British accent, and there you are on set with a bunch of Brits, you know, including the first AD whose accent you're trying to. Suddenly you feel like you're butchering it, whereas in the studio you can go, well, we are. Lower class, doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. Now you not only are a voice actor. Let's pull up some of the other stuff you're doing or have done. You are not only a film actor on screen, but you've also done some screenwriting.
It's true.
And you won a Juno, right?
No,
not Juno. Leo Award, which is BC. Leo Award. And what was the Leo Award for?
I won a Leo Award for which I share with 3 other writers. This is a writing award for best screenwriting, comedy, and variety for a show called Point Blank, which ran for one season.
Oh yeah.
On the it was the Canadian equivalent of Comedy Central.
Oh okay.
And it was basically a parody of the show Dateline, and it was one of those situations where I feel like we really started to understand what we were doing and started doing it well right at the end of season 1, and of course they never gave us a season 2. So
of course, you just get to the point where you know what you're doing, and then you say, you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. Right.
So you've done a lot of sketch comedies, sort of like Second City.
Yep. Yeah, I was with a troupe when I first started acting. I sort of wanted to strike out on my own and not really follow the system, and so I started a troupe with some friends that I thought were very funny, and when we got out there, we called ourselves the Legend of Bonefish, based on one of us brought home a foot-long plastic femur from the novelty store, and we just improvised a sketch around it, and decided that we like the sound of the Legend of Bonefish and calling ourselves this legend, and we just got out and started doing sketch comedy in front of audiences. We tried to do it weekly for several years, and what that gave me was was the best training I could have asked for as an actor and as a writer, and in different characters and different voices at the same time.
Yeah, I could see that, because you got to come up with something every week. That would be wow.
And we did try our best. I mean, we tried to hone our material too, so if it wasn't quite working, we tried to get it better and better and better. But there were shows where, you know, I'd be playing a dozen or more characters over 90 minutes, and you know, with flipping one wig on or one dress on or one whatever, just to try and get out.
Sort of like a Saturday Night Live thing where you're flipping, all that kind of stuff. You go from the Coneheads to, you know, the Greek restaurant comedy. Wow, that's kind of cool.
It was really fun. It was a really fun few years. But then, of course, you realize that you're in Vancouver, where it is not known as a comedy hotbed, and basically at that time we were, you know, there were a few acts in town, of course, but not all that many, and nobody was particularly getting discovered out of it. So you realize, well, I have to stop doing this and start doing something that pays. Otherwise, you know, I'll be the best at earning my keep in beer, but that's not going to feed me.
That's true. It is liquid bread, but it doesn't feed the stomach too well.
No.
So you got into? Did you get into music next? Because you play guitar and some other stuff too, right?
Well, I play. You know, I'm functional.
Functional, he says.
I don't know how well I play the guitar and stuff. I've always been interested in music. I was playing the trumpet in grade 6 or 7, and kept with band for a couple of years. I switched to the drums, which I actually kind of had an aptitude for, and then I was bored of band in grade 9 and switched to acting just for a credit, but I never looked back after that. Wow,
that's cool. I got yanked into a choir class in 9th grade myself, and I had no idea I would like singing. And all of a sudden, I sang my entire life. So it was sort of like one of those things where you're like, I'm just going to take this for an elective. It's like, all of a sudden, you find out you really like it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So you, now that we're, you know, seasons are over, what is holding your time nowadays? What are you working on?
I'm working on a couple of things that are, you know, things that I can't really discuss.
Oh, come on! Not even one little thing.
Well, I did do a feature film, an animated feature film, just before I left for BronyCon called Gula City, and I play Dig, a pig, who's is supposed to be a road movie kind of thing, like a Bing Crosby, Bob Hope type road movie, which is really fun to get into, and it was a really fun session. So hopefully it turns out great. And that should be out sometime next year. And I will always keep everybody updated via social media.
Yes.
And I'm shooting right after Everfree. I come home from Everfree, and then a couple of days after that, I'm on set shooting a miniseries, which I have a couple of days on. So I'll be a nominal character in one of the episodes, I think is how it works.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. Speaking of Everfree Northwest, we're only a week away now. About a week and a half away from the manliest voice actor panel in the world.
Yes!
Yes!
The manliest voice actor panel.
Yes, we're going to have you, and we're going to have Lee, and we're going to have Kathy Westlook. It's going to be awesome.
Westlook.
Yes, Spike is the manliest dragon. Absolutely. Yeah. So really looking forward to having you there and going wild. It's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be fun. I'll be sporting my half beard and all that. So.
Oh, the half beard?
Yeah.
Oh. Now I know you couldn't, because you had a shoot going on, you couldn't shave your head, because you promised you would shave your head if you had gotten a certain amount of Twitter followers, right?
Yes. Well, I'd heard that Lee Tokar had promised to go with a mohawk if he'd got a certain number of Twitter followers. So
which he did.
Which he did. Now I thought that, you know, I'm basically almost as bald as you are there.
Yes.
And and so I thought it would be funny to tweet that I would shave my head. Because of course I don't have any issue with it.
Yes.
But of course it got taken very seriously, and so I didn't want to disappoint. But then I had done this audition for this miniseries with a somewhat scraggly head, and the unspoken rule is that you show up to the set with what you brought to the audition. So I'm not I now cannot shave my head until after because of the job. So I had to come up with something else. So I'm currently growing my beard as long as I can in time for Everfree, that by the time the Manliest voice panel rolls around, I can shave the left half of it as some small penance.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
I look forward to it. It's going to be fun.
And it's British Columbia Day, right? Over there.
It is British Columbia Day today in British Columbia.
Happy British Columbia Day.
Well, thank you.
Does that like, what's the British Columbia Day signify? Because I'm from Michigan, so you might as well call me half Canadian. But I don't know the British Columbia Day celebration. What's it about?
It's to honor the province. It would be like Michigan Day.
Oh, awesome. So basically you get a national holiday just to say, I'm from British Columbia.
Well, I think other provinces have different days.
Oh, okay.
BC, it's BC Day, but I don't know exactly what goes on in the rest of the country, frankly, on BC Day.
So it's sort of like, it's sort of like Boxing Day.
Happy BC Day.
It's sort of like Boxing Day. Nobody knows what you're supposed to do, right? So it's like box the Christmas tree lights, I guess. That's or something to that effect. Which is cool. So we got a big holiday going on, and we got the pony going on. So what was, I know you do, we all know that you do Mr. Big Macintosh. And I know you have a lot of fun with him. But it looks like, Dr. Monitor had more lines and more fun to be done. Am I going the right direction? But you did Dr. Monitor, and it sounded like you had a lot of fun doing that character.
I really only remember doing the Read It and Weep episode.
Oh, okay.
With the Doctor. Was there another Doctor episode?
No, that was the Doctor.
Oh.
Yep. Dr. Monitor.
It's the same Doctor.
Yep.
Well, I did have a good time with him. I mean, he is basically me with just looking down my nose just a little bit. So I had a good time doing that.
My favorite line.
It's always fun to take on a character where you get to play a side of yourself that is not actually like yourself.
Yeah.
I think I have a great time with it. I just did just came out last year in festivals, and hopefully will play to larger audiences. A feature film, a live action film called Sunflower Hour, where I get to play just this horrible, awful porn television. But he's just a waste of a guy. He's terrible, angry, misogynistic, and it was just a blast of it. And that was my second Leo Award nomination. Well, I didn't win it. I was
awesome
that role, but
hey Pete, you're cutting
such a blast.
Pete, you're cutting out a little bit. What I think I'm going to do, we're gonna have to hang up and call you back. Cause usually that happens. When I call you back, then I'm going to call you back in just a second. We're checking it right now. There it is.
Hello?
Oh, try it again. Pete? Ah! We're trying, folks. Just a minute.
Yep.
Try that one.
Hello?
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 Are you there?
I am here.
Yay. Okay. Let's try that again.
Yeah.
All right, because you were cutting out a lot on that explanation of the movie.
Okay, so Sunflower Hour, we were talking about that, and I was just trying to say that the character I was playing was this reprehensible, angry character, but it was such a ball to play this character that was so awful, because it was so different from me as a person, and I love to sort of throw myself into that kind of role, which is quite different, and in animation it's the same. I'm not nearly so snooty as the Doctor, and I quite enjoy being.
There's this really great line.
Being different.
There's a really great line in that one where Rainbow Dash is reading the book under her blanket with a nightlight, and the doctor comes in and goes, "Rainbow Dash," like in the sing-song voice, and I went, "Oh goodness."
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Oh, that was so funny.
Rainbow Dash.
Oh, I love it. So where are we at? We're at 5:20. Oh, let's see. We got a little bit more to go. Is there anything you want to talk about specifically yourself?
Well, I want to talk about how much I'm looking forward to Everfree. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a ball, and they, they seem to be really setting it up nicely for everybody. So I'm. Hello. You're calling me. Okay. But I'm. I think that's going to be a real treat. I'm really looking forward to meeting anybody and everybody who's planning to go there.
Yeah, because when we got together Sunday morning at BronyCon. It was wonderful to chat with you.
Yeah, it was such a ball, and it was so nice to just hang out and chat and meet people and really see manifest the fandom and the way that the show has touched so many people, and just seeing that in physical form was really incredible. I'm really looking forward to going through all that again.
Yeah, I am too. It's like I'm going there a day early so I can see some of Seattle. I haven't been there in about a decade, so I'm gonna go down to the fish market, and there's a bar down there that has like 100 beers on tap.
Is that the Pike? Pike Brewery?
Yeah, the Pike Brewery.
Yeah, I was just in there in April, or was it May? Just May.
Mm-hmm.
I was down there for a short holiday, and I hadn't been there in a long time, and I sort of fell in love with it all over again. Seattle, it's a great town.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like it's been a decade plus since I've been there, so I'm really looking forward to it. Everybody is just, from meeting you again, and now I get to meet Sibsy, who's a storyboard artist, and I've been talking to, and I get to meet Daniel Ingram because he's finally been announced that he's coming, and it's like it seems like everybody from DHX is going to be there for like a day, So it's like half of DHX gets to go on Saturday, the other half goes on Sunday. We still have ponies to make, something like that. So we're 22 minutes in. We're going to go to commercial early, because I'm sure everybody out there in the ICQ chat wants to talk to the gentleman that we have on the phone right now. So we are going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. And you know what? I might even get Peter to play a little ukulele for you.
All right.
And then we'll go from there. All right? Catch you later. It's harvest season here at Sweet Apple Acres, and the You Pick Apple adventures have begun. You can make the most of this opportunity by getting a bushel full of the plumpest, juiciest apples this side of the Everfree forest. Whether for a homemade apple pie, delicious apple fritters, or fresh off the tree, it all begins with a visit to Sweet Apple Acres Apple Orchard. Go visit with the Apple family, a short trot southwest of Ponyville. Applejack.
Well, how'd it do?
Granny Smith. Apple Bloom.
I want it now!
And Big Macintosh.
Yep.
Will treat you like one of the family. Fresh apple cider? Try our 10 varieties. Apple pies and dumplings? Mouth water. Sweet, red, delicious apples? They got them. Tart Granny Smith apples? You'll find them there too. No ladders needed. Just rear up and buck you some of the sweet apple goodness that graces the plates of our princesses Celestia and Luna. And remember, our apple stand can be found at the corner of Appleton Road, right near Quills and Sofas. Apple cider donuts, fresh apple butter, and apple juice. It's always a family adventure at Sweet Apple Acres. Would you look at them fancy duds you can get from our friends at WeLoveFine.com? Shoot! Hats, bags, and posters too? They got everything you could ever want. Except apples, of course. So mosey on down to WeLoveFine.com and rustle you up some Sweet Apple Acres Sunday best. Yee-haw! And we're back with Mr. Peter New playing the ukulele for you right now.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. And I got your OC up over my shoulder so everybody knows what you look like. It's gonna be cool.
What do I look like these days?
What do you look like these days? You look like a tan Earth Stallion holding Big Macintosh in your hoof, wearing a fedora.
Yeah. I don't have that hat on today. I'm wearing.
You don't?
I'm wearing my pink hat.
Which hat?
That I bought in Seattle in May.
Really? Yeah. I went out specifically and bought a fedora just for you.
Well,
which I'm putting on right now.
I still. This is a fedora that I have on. It's just
See, we have one listener who keeps trying to get me in a beret, and it's not gonna happen. Okay. So,
there you go.
Not
That's
happening.
a class act.
Not happening. So Screwy, where are you?
I'm right here.
Yay, Screwy's here.
Hey, Screwy.
Hey, Screwy.
How's it going, Peter?
I'm pretty good, Screwy. How are you doing?
Pretty awesome.
And Screwy Squirrel is here, folks. Yes. So this is awesome. So I'm sure our wide studio audience has come up with some wonderful questions for our guest.
I cannot wait to hear them.
Yes.
There's a lot. I'll say that. Let's just get right off the bat. This one is from Mac Attack for Peter. If there's one thing you'd like to work on in the future, what would it be?
One thing, anything that I'd like to work on in the future?
Yeah.
I would love to work on a Wes Anderson picture. I tell you that. I think his movies are so quirky and interesting and odd, and that appeals to me greatly. And so if there was ever any way that I could get myself involved in that, well, I'd be happy.
Is he quirky like Quentin Tarantino quirky, or?
Well, he's the Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh yeah.
Moonrise Kingdom, which is out right now, and then
yes,
yeah, they're odd and wonderful little films that he does, and I like odd and wonderful.
Cool. I kind of get that from you when I talk to you over at BronyCon. It's like, this guy must like really love the odd, neat little stuff.
How did I give you that impression?
I don't know. Just the conversation we had. It was like, and then I saw your IMDb site, and there's a picture of you holding a fish. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
This huge picture of you just like this disheveled suit holding a fish.
Oh yeah, that's from a short film we did a long time ago called A Fish Full of Dollars. We made it. There used to be a festival here in town, a 48-hour film festival, where you get like 4 items in an inspiration package, and you have to, from those items, create a plot, write a script, shoot your movie, and edit it and hand it in 48 hours. And we did that a few years running, and one of the films we made was that one. And I don't remember what the inspiration package was, but all I remember is that we had to buy these 2 fish, and we cut one open, and then I had to drive around with the other one in my car for 2 days. And my car smelled like that fish for about 8 months.
Wow.
It was bad for dating.
Oh, I bet. Screwy next.
This is from Repairman Man. Question for all: how should I style my beard, preferably without stash?
Somebody has their live stream on, and it's echoing.
It's not mine.
Pete, do you have your live stream on?
I don't have any sound on, but
weird. I wonder where we're getting that from. Oh well, we'll keep going. Okay, beard without mustache style. What do you think, Pete?
I think the anti-goatee.
Ah, yes.
Go for the anti-goatee, where you just do nothing in the middle and just massive chops that come all the way to the edges of your lips.
That would be, yeah, well, a little Civil War American, big bushy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'd look awesome. Perfect. Next.
Wow. This one is from, I hope I can say this right, Zane. It has an X at the front. I don't know how to fix that. Out of all the fan-made art, music, videos, etc. that you've seen/heard, what is your favorite and why?
That's a really hard question. There's so much great stuff, and I've been touched by a lot of the stuff that's been given to me, and so, I don't know. There are different reasons for liking different things, and it's like apples and oranges trying to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few things that touched me. I had a guy from New Jersey make me a paper craft, and he wrote me a nice letter, and it all came together. It's this little box, and it was a very heartfelt letter talking about how much I'd influenced him and stuff, and that was very moving on a very personal and emotional level like that. But then there have been other things where it's just the art itself is so fantastic that you think it's just incredible that the show has inspired that kind of artistic talent out there in the world. And then the other side of things, I'm a fan of the odd and the hilarious. So I know there's like a video on YouTube which is just 5 minutes of Big Mac saying "Eeyup" over and over again. That tickles me pink.
Yeah, that is like every instance of him saying "yep" in every episode.
Yeah, there's that one. I think the thing that I'll always have the softest spot for, probably, and I think this is because this is the first fan-made thing I had ever seen that I could ever say was associated with anything that I'd ever done, was Eeyup.com.
Wow.
Because that was my first indication that there was any kind of fan art community out there from My Little Pony, and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it when I first saw it, that someone had made this button that you could press that would say "Eeyup" in my voice, and it's there. There it is, online for the world. And I think I will always have a soft spot for that.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who knew I liked the show. Right, had a friend make a teacup with Big Macintosh on it that says "Eeyup."
Oh, fantastic.
And she gave that to me for Christmas, and I have it up here. It's freaking awesome.
I would like to see.
Well, I'll put it on camera.
Put it on camera.
Right there.
I closed my live stream so that there was no chance I was watching, but I will watch it later.
Yeah, we'll see it later. But that's a Eeyup. And it's really awesome. The next story, go for it.
Oh, this one's from Mac Attack for Dusty. Other than the panel you are hosting, where are you looking forward to most at Everfree Northwest?
Oh,
and that kind of can go for all of us as well.
I'm looking forward to meeting Sipsy. Really looking forward to meeting Sipsy. I'm looking forward to seeing Daniel Ingram. I'm looking forward to seeing how West Coast Brony fandom compares to East Coast Brony fandom, because BronyCon is New Jersey, and we're out here on the West Coast, so we'll see a lot of people that we didn't see on the East Coast, and we'll see how different it is for cosplay, how different it is for how the fans treat people, treat each other, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm really, really looking forward to the panel. Hugely looking forward to the panel. So I have plans. What are you looking forward to, Pete?
I'm looking forward to the end of the panel that you're moderating, because then I can shave the other half of my face. No, I'm really looking forward to the whole thing. I'm looking forward to the spectacle. I'm really looking forward to meeting people and having. You never really get to have long conversations, but I'm looking forward to the conversations I do get to have, and I'm really wanting to take it in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting the fans, because when I went to BronyCon, I was flabbergasted with how many people knew who I was and what I did. So
Same,
looking forward to meeting a lot of people, a lot of fans. Next.
This one's from Paul G on Twitter. Question for Mr. New: what has been your favorite production to work on over the years?
Do you mean besides My Little Pony? My Little Pony has been great fun to work on. Besides that, I have to say, and probably, it supersedes all, ultimately, was working with Terry Gilliam on The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. I've said this before, that Terry Gilliam was the only filmmaker I have ever said to my agent, listen, if this guy comes through town with a movie, I don't care what it is. I will rig a light for this guy. I just want to be on that set because I'm such a huge fan. And then when that movie happened, and then almost didn't happen, and then did happen in the end, I was thrilled that I got the opportunity to come in and do one day as an actor saying one line, and that is yeah, it's odd in a way that you can look at that that one day, that one line as a career high point, but I really do.
I could imagine for a comedian like you being able to work with Terry Gilliam for a day would be.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, and Monty Python was really influential for me. Like I tried to go into sketch comedy partly because of them, and I started to get good at accents.
Yeah, partly because of the Gumbies, you know, I have to do that.
So you're sort of looking at like how much did that group influence my overall career?
How many people did that group influence overall in actors and comedians?
Yeah, but they influenced me in so many ways. As a writer, they've influenced me as an actor, as a voice actor, as a filmmaker. That's
spam, eggs and spam.
Yeah, I rarely, if I have a one-liner on a film, I rarely will sit in my chair on the set all day long and watch what is going on. But on Gilliam's movie, I came to the blocking at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I stayed there until wrap, and I didn't leave. I wanted to see the whole thing happen, and it was astonishing and wonderful and lovely.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine how much you learned just sitting there watching him.
Yeah, and he's such a easygoing guy. Like I was able to just hang out and have a conversation with him in downtimes, and we talked about filmmaking and particular shots he's done, and he was sort of very open. He was a really open guy and really willing to have a chat and give you his ear. And
wow, that's awesome.
I went from respecting the guy as a filmmaker to respecting the guy as a man. And that's,
it's sort of like it's sort of like the 15 minutes you gave me at BronyCon.
Oh, what? That's more than flat.
Really, because I'm sitting there and it's like you came in with everybody, and they were doing their signings early, and you're standing there doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I just struck up a conversation with you, and we just talked for 15 minutes. And then you were nice enough to give me that little bumper for my show, and it's like, this guy is like awesome. Oh my God, just talking about this, that, and the other thing. And it was like he gave me all this time for just being me, and it's awesome. It's all of that kind of fawning. Okay, I'm done. Screwy next.
This one is from Nathan Barlow from Twitter. Question is, Peter, if you never did the voice for Big Mac, then which pony would you do the voice for?
I will interpret that question to mean which pony do I wish I could have done the voice for, because I don't really, otherwise I don't answer it.
Because you have done others.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the show is so well cast that it's tough to kind of pick out one of the. I mean, anytime I sort of think of anybody, I sort of think in terms of Snips or Snails, or in terms of some of the other guest guys that have come on, that Shining Armor, whomever, and I just think, yeah, it might have been nice to play Snails, say, but Richard Cox does such a great job with it that yeah, okay, I know why they cast him over me. I get that, because he's phenomenal, and so it's sort of hard for me to pick it out, because I think, what would I have done in that part? Well, nothing like what they cast, and so I'm quite happy that they didn't cast me in a weird way. That's a really tough question to answer, because, like I said, everybody does such a good job with the parts that they do play.
I'll switch that question around.
Okay.
If there is any pony that you would cast on the show that you would want to play, say there's a pony that doesn't exist yet. And,
all right.
Okay, create a pony for the show. What kind of pony would you personally want to play?
I think I would like to play somebody that is. I think Big Mac is ultimately this wise, though silent character. I think I would like to play a talkative idiot.
Okay.
Because that is entirely the opposite.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. A really dumb, dopey, but talks a mile a minute type of pony. I think
like hayseed turnip truck.
Yeah, how you say turnip truck was fun? Again, I think that's Trevor Duvall. Again, he did such a great job with that. He did such a great job.
He was perfect because I'm from Michigan, and it's like that was Michigan redneck, 100% done. I was going, I could have done that character. I was like, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Hey Rardy. I love it.
Anyway, yeah, something. I mean, with the beauty of voice is that you get to do something different every time, right? So it would be something that's different again from everything that I've already done.
That's cool. Next.
Oh, this is from Repairman Man. Question is, does it bother you that your character is only remembered for yep and nope?
Nope.
Nope. I remember.
I think it's exciting in a weird way. Like he's mostly remembered for yep and nope, but it's interesting too how thrilled people are with the episode where he gets to schmoopy doo, and then the episode where he gets to have the wise monologue, and then the episode where he gets to chew out his younger sister, and I think that's fun too. That he's sort of this stability who says only the two words. Mm-hmm. But then there's always the possibility if he comes on screen, you sort of know now that, oh, okay, well, there he is, but what might happen, I think there's, and I admire them for meeting it out fairly slowly, because I think that's, I think there's a lot of cash in that, in a way.
See, Big Mac and I have to have a talk, you see, because I was dating Shirley back in the 80s, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk. Screwy go.
This one is actually a comment from Jax Blade 07. He just tweeted it to me.
Jax, my man.
An amazing guy. He would like to say, Peter New, you inspire me when I work out.
How am I to take that, I wonder?
take it well, because that man is built.
It real well.
He is huge.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be the inspiration.
Yes, he's a very good guy. We run fitness videos here on this show that he's doing. I have a new one that we're gonna run next week. So all you stick around next week. We're having a new Jax Blade video for you.
Well, maybe you can inspire me back.
Absolutely. He's inspiring me because I need to get back in shape too. So I need to lose about 15 pounds.
I definitely.
So you guys are gonna love the next video because I'm gonna start doing that exercise myself. So I'm gonna do it all next week so that when I play it next week, I got something going on. I need to get the 22-inch pythons back. Next one, Screwy.
This one's from Fluttertree. For all of you, if you were a tree, what kind would you be and why?
I think I saw this on Twitter earlier. I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. Kind of tree I would be.
I would be.
Maybe I'll go last.
Yeah, I would be a Michigan oak.
Yeah.
Tall and strong, and all of my my fruit would feed all the deer. So I would be.
Well, I think I'd have to say I'd be an apple tree.
There you go.
I was gonna say apple tree too.
Yes. Why not? And partly because of the thrill that it is to be Big Macintosh.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with 2 apple trees in my backyard, and I had a tree fort in one of them, and so and my dad would make apple pies with the apples from one of them every year, and
nice.
Yeah, I'd be an apple tree because it has a nostalgic quality, and it has I like that it's a nurturing tree.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I feel calmer already.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I know. Screwy. Yeah, next.
This one's from Firemane. Peter, did you like the wood carving of Big Mac that I sent you?
Yes, Firemane.
Yes, I did.
Absolutely.
I show it off. It's the pièce de résistance. I got this, I got that, and ta-da, this awesome wood carving. So yes.
Yes, he did one for me too, which is awesome.
I know, it's fantastic.
Which I will pick up at Everfree Northwest. And I'm going to be doing a lot of pimping of him and some other people next week, which is the week before Everfree Northwest. So next week we're going to do a big show on art and some people who are doing some really cool stuff in the fandom on art. So that's going to be next week's show. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yes. That's your QA. Screwy.
I'm reading so much questions. This one is from Pascal. I don't know how to say your last name, but question for Peter. What are your thoughts about the future of the Brony fandom?
I answered a question like this a while ago, and I ended up rambling on about about the future of the human race. I'll try to make it short. I think that the fandom marks a significant change in outlook and in attitude, or at least I hope it does. And so I'm hoping that well beyond the show, My Little Pony, that the attitudes bred by the show and that exist in the fandom of tolerance and friendship and a sense of putting each other first and understanding where each other are at, what each other might be going through. I hope that pervades, because I think that's important for this species if we're going to conquer the problems that are going to exist in our world in the next 20 years.
I agree.
We need to help each other.
I agree. Absolutely, 100% agree. I have people ask me all the time, Dusty, you're this big, gruff biker dude. Why do you watch this show? One, because I don't let society tell me what I can and cannot like. Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm smarter than that. So, be smarter than that, people. Don't let societal norms, or however you want to call them, tell you what you should and should not like. Use some brains.
Well, and more than that, change societal norms. Change societal norms so that liking something because you like it is fine with everyone.
Fine with everybody. It should be fine with everybody.
Yeah.
Just because I watch this show doesn't mean I don't like to watch monster trucks, or I don't like to watch football, or I don't like to race my motocross bike. I just happen to like a cartoon show. And no one should be able to give me hell for it just because I like watching a cartoon show that happened to be for little girls in the first place. Who cares? It's a well-done show. If you watch it for 5 seconds, you'd understand that. So, I have an opinion, I'm sorry.
I think that the one of the greatest things that has the message of the show has in it is this idea that it's the notion of teamwork ultimately. The sense that it doesn't have to be us against them. It doesn't have to be black versus white. It doesn't have to be polar, right? But there is a third alternative, and there's always a third alternative. And I like that the show sort of promotes that notion, because I think that's true in life, that there's always another alternative. You should never feel like consent has been manufactured for you. You should never have to pick between the options that are before you on the table. You can always make up your own answer.
There are plenty
I think ultimately... Sorry?
There are plenty of shades of gray.
Yeah, and I think that you can pick your own way through, and that's what this shows me is happening.
I hope
and so that's what the answer to the question is. I hope that that's the future of it, because it, of course eventually, and I don't know when, the show is going to stop, and I don't, I have no information about when that's going to be, but I know that it won't last forever, because nothing does.
Nothing does.
And but I hope that beyond that, that the lessons given by it and that have been embraced by this community, I hope they continue and persist.
The thing about our fandom that excites me is that now we have people that can animate and can write and can voice act so well that if Hasbro ever does stop the show, we can make our own episodes. And it's true. If you saw the music video for Picture Perfect Pony by Mando Pony, a gentleman asked the Cutie Mark Crusaders. I don't know his actual name, but he does Tumblr. He actually animated that song, and it was show quality. And he got some. It was a show quality done music video for Mando Pony's song, and he got Mando Pony's actual OC in the video, and it looks like Mando Pony should be in the show. And it's like, I got to send you a link, Peter. If you haven't seen it, you're gonna love it. I'm gonna get that to you right after the show. But yeah, and we can do, and we got a guy doing of not a final thesis, but an animation for his school that he got permission from Hasbro to do an episode length thing for himself at his school for a grade. So yeah, so we got double Rainboom going on, and so we're gonna have talent enough that when the show does stop, people might just continue it because they want to. That would be fun. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Screwy.
This one's from. This one's from Zane. Question is, do you have any hobbies you'd like to share with us?
My biggest, I like to garden and I like to cook a little bit, but my hobby, I suppose, is playing, however helplessly, is playing my my instruments that I have in the house, the guitar and the ukulele. And,
yes.
And whatnot. That's my biggest hobby.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
This one. Sorry, one sec. This one is from Captain Colts. Question for Peter New. What is your favorite accent to do, and what is the toughest or one you dislike to do?
I don't know that there's one that I dislike. My favorite one probably is I don't know how good I am at it. Is to do. I'm trying to learn to do South African, and I'd like to be able to keep doing it. But I don't know. It's such a tricky accent that I think it answers both questions. It's both my favorite right now and the biggest challenge. But I think maybe that's why. You know, I think with accents, I find that I'm quite keen to conquer. You know what? The one that I just watched all of Torchwood recently, and Torchwood. I'm trying now to learn Welsh. I don't know. I don't know how good I am at it. It's just like it's out there. But you just try to try to find what it is about trying to find a phrase that kicks you into it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find the thing that makes you sort of, I don't know, for me it's very instinctive. If I could kind of get what the range of vowel sounds is, then I can always work from there. But those are two accents I'm not quite sure of, but that makes them my favorites to do at the same time as making them the most difficult.
Very cool.
This one is from... Oh, one second. I just gotta get back to Twitter. This one is from Collins Slomsky. I hope I said your last name right. Question is for Peter. What was your first encounter or first hearing of bronies, and what was your reaction?
I think I'd heard the term before I saw Eeyup.com. But my first real sort of eye-opening moment was seeing Eeyup.com, as I mentioned earlier, and realizing that someone out there had cared enough or was committed enough that they wanted to go to the trouble of putting that together. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, from there you realize, all right, well, there's this deeper community there. If this exists, then there are people who exist who want to go to see this. And so I started Googling and asking other people and asking around. And my first reaction, I'll be honest, was, I think like a lot of people's first reactions, I think the assumption is that there's something very strange going on. but I'm quite happy to say that I don't think that there is. You know, I was quite thrilled when I did enough paying attention to realize that it's a group of people who earnestly take on the tenets or the you know the friendship and the tolerance, and I sort of lost exactly what I was trying to say there, but I quite respect and admire the earnestness with which this community likes this show and loves this show, and I totally, it opened me right up, and I'm happy to say that it taught me a lesson about myself, that there was a community out there that did not have to approach this show with irony and did not have to say Fluttershy, how silly, how strange, haha, I'm going to say that I like it. You know, none of that had to happen. It was just simply Fluttershy, I love it, fantastic, let's go on.
Mm-hmm.
And that really taught me about myself, that what is it about me that has to approach things with irony? What is it about me that has to assume that that there has to be a joke in it, that it can't just be earnest? And I'm quite happy to say that you guys taught me that. That you guys taught me that it's okay to just love, to just like what I like, and be proud of it. And so, what do I think of the community? Is, you know, I have the deepest esteem and respect.
And you know what, Peter?
We love you. Oh my God!
Yep.
This actually is kind of a related question. Is from Z Muscle for Peter. What is your favorite thing about bronies?
I think I kind of answered that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
Yep. Yep, he did.
I will amend. You know that one of my favorite things is that it's just how much is the sheer volume of art and music and comedy and writing and everything that has come out of that has come as a response to this show. I just think it's marvelous. I think anytime art creates art, you're doing something right. So I have the deepest admiration.
We're going deeper.
Going deeper.
We're going deeper.
Going deeper.
Yes.
Down.
This one is from Daniel Hengels. I hope I said that right. For Peter, what is your favorite hat to wear? And I would say for you too, Dusty.
Oh, really?
Oh, boy. It all depends on the occasion.
Yes.
And sometimes my outfit.
Yes.
Sometimes I assume that I'm going to wear a certain hat. Like this year's Leo Awards, for instance, I was nominated for Sunflower Hour, and I bought myself a suit, and I thought I was in Seattle in May just beforehand, and I saw this beautiful pink hat that I'm actually wearing now. This lovely pink fedora with a sort of dark, or sort of purpley burgundy rim, and I thought, oh, this is going to look superb with my outfit, and I brought it home, and I didn't wear it until the day, and I got myself dressed and put on my hat, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I thought, no, I gotta wear my gray hat. The last second, I saved this hat that I have on right now for that occasion, and then didn't wear it. So
happens.
Hats are very personal and very. I still don't know what hat I'm going to bring with me to Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way. I wear baseball hats all the time because I grew up with baseball hats. I was always playing baseball as a little kid. You know, I went through all the leagues, and then I played baseball in high school, and I just kept wearing them. So baseball hats are my like de facto thing. I'll wear a baseball hat to everything. I wear, oil branded baseball hats to work. And then I'll get off of work and not wear anything because I'm reveling in the baldness. But now it's like now I have like Peter. It's like now I'm enjoying hats. I'm enjoying different hats. So because it makes me look different. Because I love this new fedora I just bought because I bought it just for the show, and now I'm like enjoying it. It's like, wow, that makes me look really nice. Especially with my Tommy Bahama shirt on. So I'm really enjoying it. So I think we'll go with whatever I feel like and what I'm wearing that day. So.
Yes, and the weather. It's weather dependent.
Yes, and weather dependent too.
Certain. I bought a hat last year in time for my trip to Africa. I went to Uganda last summer to be an acting mentor at a school in Kampala, and and I bought a hat for that trip, which was my perfect summer hat for last year. But of course, it got dirty and sweaty because I was in Africa, and then I, it sort of molded itself to my head, and it became the hat. And I would never wear it out in the rain last year, but of course this year it's the hat that I will wear if it's a little bit spitty outside, because it's now the old hat. So things change.
Yep, I just had to throw out 4 baseball hats that I've had hanging around for 5 or 6 years.
Hard, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it's
hard because one of them was like this fox hat, which was yellow and black, which matched my race bike, which I wore to every race. It was a baseball hat I owned when I won my first motocross race. How can I ever get rid of that? But I look at it and go,
yeah,
this thing is dead.
I've in recent years tried to abandon superstition, but I still find it difficult. That kind of thing. I have certain articles of clothing or hats or whatever that I just can't part with because I'm
the same way. I still have my high school football jersey.
Yeah.
I still have my college football jersey. Can't get rid of them. It's like I still have them. So it's like,
I still have my comedy shirt that I used to perform in with the Legend of Bonefish.
Well, there you go. Absolutely.
Yeah, same thing. That's my football.
Mm-hmm. Go, Screwy.
This one is from Screw Loose.
Hey, Screwy.
And
Screw Loose?
Screw Loose. Question is, Peter.
Yeah.
He says, I made a cutie mark patch for Lee Tokar. Would you like one too?
Yes.
Oh, I would love one.
Absolutely. He sent me these I'm showing on camera, which is my crossed piston cutie mark on his embroidery machine, and they are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And he made me 2 so I can put them on jeans or something, but they're really, really cool. Yeah, you really want one of these.
I do.
Yes. We're gonna talk to him next week too.
Okay, cool.
Yay!
Those are awesome.
Screwy!
That wasn't me this time. The guest is on you now.
This one is from MLP Problems. Question for Peter. What was your favorite live action role?
Well, besides the experience of being on Parnassus, I will actually say that I think my favorite feature film role probably is Sunflower Hours, Donald in Sunflower Hour, just because it was so dirty and raunchy and awful and different from myself, and I threw myself in and had a great time, and it was such a fun film to work on with all those fun people as well, and a hilarious script by Aaron Houston, and I really hope that it gets. It's been winning awards and getting all this recognition at every festival that it plays. So I still have my fingers crossed that it'll get some broader release distribution.
We're crossing hooves for you over here. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be the breakout Peter New movie. I can see it now. You'll be down in Hollywood hanging with Tara Strong before you know it.
Oh, I know. Well, I hope so. One day. I'm still young.
Yes.
Because I think in these days, really, celebrities aren't made until their 50s, right? Isn't that right?
Pretty much. I mean, look at Betty White. Betty White wasn't anything until she was 90. I mean, really.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh god. Oh my gosh. This one is from Fennicus Kitsune. Question for all: has yep and nope stuck into your normal speech at all?
Absolutely.
Yes. I do it at work.
I do
it at work too.
I do it all the time without realizing it, and it's sort of this subtle version of the saying. Like I don't really put the voice on, but I do find myself, often saying "yep," just kind of a halfway there kind of thing.
Yep.
Which is funny. It really has crept in.
This one is from Luminaire. Question is, will you be at NYC Comic Con 2012?
Not that I am aware of, but it's early yet.
It is early
We'll
yet.
see. We'll see.
Who knows what Hasbro? Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of Hasbro?
Yeah.
Really.
I always hope to. I mean, I think these things are so much fun, and I would love to, but we'll see.
Absolutely. They got something up their sleeve because 13 episodes ain't enough for next season. Something's up their sleeve and they aren't letting us know. Evil Hasbro. They're trolling us, They're trolling the bronies. I can see it. They got something awesome up their sleeves. They know they do. So I don't really know, but I'm guessing. There's no way they're killing the goose that laid the golden egg now. Not happening. So, next.
This one is from Kim Kimira Kimes. I don't know if I said that right. To Peter, what was your funniest moment in the studio?
I think it really probably was Hearts and Hopes Day. Trying to get through all the Schmoopy-Doo, pony pie. Every time we turned the page and we had to sort of throw these things at each other earnestly, it was
when Big Mac was in the hole jumping out of it, Schmoopy-Doo, I just lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it every time he talked. It was just so funny.
And he's hopping and dragging a house down the street. And it's like, okay. Yeah. We know who Ponyville calls when they need disaster relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is actually from Screw Loose, and he says, "Cool, I will send the cutie mark patch to Dusty for Everfree Northwest."
Yes.
Oh, well, Thank you so much.
Get it to me in a hurry, because I'm leaving a week from Wednesday. Okay? So, in the morning flight. So don't try to get it to me Wednesday. Get it to me as soon as you can. All right? I will gladly deliver it, but it has to get to me soon. So, just so you know.
This one is from Red Lunchbox. Peter New, would you be willing to get DustyKatt into a beret at Everfree Northwest?
Yes, absolutely. If you can provide me a beret, I will make sure DustyKatt is wearing a beret and we photograph it.
I'll hook you up.
You know why? You know why he's doing this? Because he thinks I look like Jamie Heineman from MythBusters.
I can see that.
So
I can see.
Yeah. So
now we need an Adam Savage lookalike to come along. And
there you go. And those guys are here in the Bay Area. I've seen them, doing their thing now and then.
Yeah.
They're always at like an Army Navy surplus, or they're out at a rifle range or something, blowing something up.
Yeah.
That's the job right there. It's like, I'm gonna have a science show, but I get to blow things up all the time. It's like awesome.
This question is from Imperious. Question for Peter: does Big Mac have a crush on any pony?
Big Mac have a crush on any pony?
Any pony at all?
I think we need to leave that one to the writers. I'm sad to say.
Yep. We're leaving that one to the writers.
This one is one minute. I gotta find it. Oh, here we go. This one's from Daniel Narbaez. I hope I wait. Or did I already do this one? Is there a voice actor that inspires you to get into voice acting, or any current voice actors that keep you going, Peter?
Voice actors that inspire me to go. I mean, the big inspiration is Mel Blanc. If there's anyone out there that does not know Mel Blanc, he did all of essentially all of the voices for the main characters in Looney Tunes.
All of them.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all of them. And I remember I was working at a store downtown here in Vancouver that was called Cartoon Corner, and I think I'd only just recently realized, or maybe I realized after I got that job, that the store was selling cartoon art and sell artwork as well as merch. And I think I sort of put it together that Mel had done all these voices, and it floored me.
Mm.
It floored me, and it made me go back and rewatch all of these old Looney Tunes cartoons, listening for the voice work. And I'd never really watched them all, just listening to the voice work.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did it strike me how marvelous the different characterizations were, but just the work itself, both from him and June Foray, just the ability to make these characters so distinct and so funny and so crisp. It sets an extremely high bar for anyone who wants to get into voice.
And the sad thing, Pete, is you can't see them anymore. When I was a kid, Looney Tunes was on every day in the afternoon on 2 or 3 different channels.
Yeah.
Now they won't play them at all.
No, they're afraid of them now. They're afraid they're too violent or inappropriate somehow, or whatever.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean,
there's a couple of good DVD sets out there that don't have the edited cartoons. Mm-hmm. Some of them got edited for violence or for content.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, these things were made for adult audiences largely, and they were made as propaganda sometimes.
Bugs Bunny nips the nips, and
it's fascinating.
Some of the other ones.
Yeah.
The one I found funny was Bugs Bunny goes to South Africa or to Australia, and he's against this nature boy guy. You know, he's basically in a tunic and he's got a spear, and it's like that one's completely cut for a lot of the comedy, and it's like, oh wow, that was like, it was funny before, now you've ruined it. So, I just can't. I need to find those DVD sets because I'm such a Hanna-Barbera fan. Looney Tunes fan. But it's such a shame that kids these days cannot watch them. You know?
Yeah. And then in terms of who keeps me going, when I was first really getting into it, it was in the days of Ren and Stimpy with Billy West, and The Simpsons was going strong, and I was looking at it. Made me, that whole revelation about Mel Blanc made me really start paying attention to voice work in a way I hadn't done before, and I started to look at Dan Castellaneta, Harry Shearer, and the Simpsons cast, Hank Azaria, and looking at the number of different voices, the number of different characters that those guys do, and it really, again, floored me again. I was like, there is such a high bar that it really made me buckle down and concentrate, and and I still don't think I'm anywhere near that level, but it's still the goal to try to get there and keep developing and keep pushing.
Well, you do. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different characters that you've done on the show so far. Two, Jet Set and Dr. Monitor being full episodes worth of voice work. Rarity's Father being enough of a different type of voice to be, a feather to hang in your hat. I think you're doing fairly well. So.
Well, thank you.
You just take that and stick it in your hat.
I will.
Because I think you're awesome.
The hat that I'm wearing, they gave me a little plastic bag with the different colored feathers, so I'm.
Well, there you go. Stick that in there because I think you're awesome.
This one. Let's get into it. Come on.
This is great because I did the same thing last week, and Lee Tolkar did the exact same thing.
He did. He really did.
He got all over Screwy. It was awesome.
This one is from Buckeye. For Peter, what's your favorite adult beverage?
Favorite adult beverage? Scotch.
Yes, Scotch. I've heard that. Scotch. I'm more of a cognac guy myself.
Cider you liked.
The cider is the drink of choice, but if I'm going to go for an adult beverage of a little bit stiffer, I would go with a cognac. myself.
Yeah, it's Scotch when I'm feeling stiff, and good quality beers when I'm feeling more relaxed.
Yeah, all of BronyCon, you're like tweeting pictures of the beers you're drinking. I'm going, where is Peter? I can't find him. Like, I need to have a beer with Peter. He keeps tweeting pictures of his beers all over BronyCon. It's like, where are you? I need to have a beer with Peter. I can't find him.
Maybe that'll be the Everfree game.
Yeah, the Everfree game is find Peter by the beer pictures he's putting
This is the
up.
beer that I'm drinking. Come and find me.
Come and find me. Oh, that'll be awesome.
I get into it. This is from Pony Machine. Were there any characters that you almost played but never did?
Probably. I don't really remember.
No.
We auditioned for, the Big Mac was the first one that I auditioned for, and it's all about the gratitude now. I'm so grateful that I got it. Mm-hmm. But even from there, I still have to audition for other ones. With Jet Set, for instance, I had to audition for. Occasionally, they'll just throw one to you, but there's always auditions, and even within the show. So yeah, I'm sure there were things that there's always something. Part of the job as an actor is you have to put the audition that you don't get out of your mind, otherwise you'll beat yourself up and ruin yourself. So I've forgotten.
Yep.
I've forgotten more characters than I've played by a huge margin. But that's kind of what you have to.
Absolutely.
This one is from Sax M13. Question is, what's your favorite lesson from the show, whether from a personal experience or just good advice for kids?
I think my favorite lesson really is got to be the central lesson that if you, which to me I think is that if you love each other and listen to each other and help each other to be strong, rather than to dig your heels in and separate yourself from one another, that you will accomplish so much more, and you will create so much more beauty in the world. And I'm sure that there's a cleaner way to say it. But to me, that's the big thing, that no one is an island, and
I have to agree. I've done more in my career and my life with the help of my friends and my coworkers than I ever did alone. Yeah. I created 3 custom motorcycles within 3 months for a trade show, and could not have done that myself without the help of friends and coworkers. We built a lot of different fun things to go to Burning Man with for years that I could never have done alone. But my friends helped, and that we built these really great things to take out to Burning Man and have fun with. And you can't stand alone. I can't do this show without Screwball, without Final Draft, without 8-Track, and without Cowboy. I can't do this show. Okay,
no,
I can't do it alone.
I was say the same thing. I was just about to say the same thing about MLP. That it's all very well to sit here and very flattering to sit here and get interviewed and have the all these questions and I'm having a great time and all that. But I am not here by myself. I'm not here without the main cast of the show, and I'm not here without the directors and the producers and the writers and Lauren Faust, and it's a huge team effort to make a show like this.
Absolutely.
And I don't. One of the reasons I like the cons and things is I actually get to meet people like Lauren and Megan McCarthy and John Delancey and even Tara Strong, who I'd never met before. Because it's this team effort, and it's an international effort, and it's and I think that what better way to make a show where it's about friendship than to take people from different parts of the world with different skills and and make a thing that is beautiful together. So it's certainly not. It's not me, and it's not. You know, I don't get to say Eeyup without somebody writing that word down, and I'm so grateful for that.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It touched me right here. It's beautiful. Right here,
just beside my nose. Above my lip, my quivery lip on the quiver side.
Down in the cockles of my heart.
On the apple of my cheek.
Yes, I think so. That was beautiful. Next.
This was from I don't know how to say this name. Kutosli. Question for Peter: what is your favorite My Little Pony episode?
Ooh.
I think my favorite is Lesson 0.
Almost everybody's is Lesson 0.
Yeah.
Where Twilight goes nuts.
Yeah, that's not why I like it.
Oh? Why do you like it?
Well, isn't that the one that I end up with the smarty pants at the end? That's the
yes,
one, right?
It is, actually. Yeah. You end up with smarty pants.
That's why I like it.
That's cool. Has anybody given you a smarty pants? Now, there's a question.
I have one smarty pants.
Oh, nice. Is it a really nice one?
It's a lovely one. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That is great.
Yeah, it's terrific. It's terrific with a smarty pants.
Cool.
I trust
There's a backstory behind this question. This is from Pyro Brony. Are you a New Lunar Republic or a celestial empire? Are you for Celestia or are you for Luna?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Here's the backstory.
Yep.
Everfree Radio, actually, EQI, is running Decision 2012 Equestria. Both Princess Celestia and Princess Luna are running for Princess of Equestria. Where do your loyalties lie? With Princess Celestia? Or with Princess Luna?
At this stage in the campaign, I am neutral.
Which means you're going to vote for Rainbow Dash?
Doesn't mean anything necessarily.
Oh. Well, I'll have to inform you more on the policies of Princess Luna, because I think you'll come around. I think you will. Yeah, I'll talk to you after the show.
This one is from Wub and Tolerate. Question is, do you listen to any of the music or remixes the Brony musicians make?
I certainly have listened to some, and I've certainly been entertained by much of it. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, no. The answer is some of it, not to a tremendous degree as yet, but I certainly am entertained by it.
Have you had any favorites at all, or?
You know, I'm mostly interested in the stuff that involves me. I mean, that's at least I feel like it's the gateway anyway for me, and I've really been enjoying the stuff that has Big Mac in it, and I mean everything from dance remixes to the Gambler and everything else. But,
oh, you heard my song?
I believe I did.
Oh, awesome! What do you think?
I thought it was lovely.
Oh, thank you. I put some heart and soul in that one. My parents raised me on Kenny Rogers. So, yeah. So
I wanted to tell you a story about that. Actually, I had to do the Gambler. The first time I ever particularly became aware of the song, I'd heard of it, but I didn't really know it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was cast in this, dinner theater murder mystery thing where I had to play some kind of gambler character.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things was that I had to sing the song, and I didn't really have enough somehow I thought I knew it better than I did, and I was nervous to sing it, and I got there to the part of the night where I was supposed to take center stage with my microphone and basically do karaoke to the gambler. And all I could really remember was the weirdly it was the verses I could remember. The chorus, you got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, and that I basically blanked on it, and so I ended up walking around the perimeter of the space, going, "You know the words," to people. Their face, making them go. And I don't. I never got hired again.
That's funny. I did 2 years of karaoke hosting, so it's like the words are stuck in my head. Go Sketch.
They're stuck in my head now. You sort of walk out of an experience like that.
You'll never forget them.
You never forget them. You're walking home on the bus home or whatever. However I got home, I just remember going, "Oh, there they all are." Now I know them. Oh well.
It's all pressure and stress.
Yeah,
it makes you forget everything.
You get better and better at dealing with it as you go along. But, that was not a particularly fun night.
Go Screw.
This one's from Sketchy Wolf 13. Question for Pete: if you could write an episode of MLP FIM, what would it be about, and what would the lesson of the episode be?
I don't know. Well, definitely, I think one of my characters, or possibly all of my characters, would be in it.
Wow.
I don't really know that any of the other actors even need to come to that session. I think maybe the conductor and jet set have a secret pact to unload the train with, of all of its luggage, using the valet from Rarity's room in Canterlot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know.
I can see that as a train mystery.
Yeah,
a train heist episode where Rarity's father is actually a double agent.
Sure.
Right? Working for the Griffins. And Big Macintosh is actually an agent of Celestia.
Yes.
Where he's trying to stop Rarity's father from...
And he ends up stopping the train with his brute strength.
Absolutely. Stopping the train with his brute strength, because if it didn't continue going 88 miles per hour, it would blow up.
Yes. There you go. We just did it.
There. Done. There you go. Written. Do it.
Do it. Just do it.
Do it, Billy.
The lesson, though. The lesson would be the moral of the story.
Don't mess with Big Macintosh.
It would come down to Big Macintosh and some of his wisdom, I guess.
Yes.
But it would have to be somewhere along the lines of...
know when to fold them, know when to hold them.
Exactly. Know when to walk away.
And know when to run.
You never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
You know why?
There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. I would really like to seriously answer that question. It would have to take a lot of thought. I would want to write an episode that talked about cooperation in some way. But I mean, I think that's a pretty general answer.
Yeah. It would be really... It would be funny if, say, some of the Apple family had branched off into pears.
Oh.
And they were having trouble with their pear orchard, and they would have to put away their differences. They would have to put away their differences for family, and would have to go help with the pear farm.
And that would be Cherry.
No, we already had that. That was Cherry's Jubilee. Oh God. Next.
This one I love. Oh, say again, Peter?
I said it would be full of fruit puns.
Yes, it would. Just as fruit pies. Anybody know where that came from?
I don't know. Oh man, if you guys get the reference to this, I'll love you forever. This one's from Raritree, and the question is, what is your name, what is your quest, and what is your favorite color?
Oh, that one's over my head. I'm sad to say. Sorry about that. My name is Peter New. My quest is to understand what this question is referring to. And my favorite color is orange.
Right over my head. Right over my head.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, God. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Just tells me it's been much too long since I watched
Me
that.
too. I gotta go watch that tonight. It's been way too long since I watched the Monty Python. That's it. Watching it tonight.
Yeah.
You better.
The rabbit? It is the rabbit.
Only a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound. Come back here. You know what? We won't go to Canterlot. Such a silly place. We'll go to Canterlot instead.
Yes, definitely. This one's from Cowboy Dave. Question is, what has been your most memorable experience since you first discovered bronies?
Well, BronyCon. Because it's my first time that I've ever been invited to a big convention for anything, and it was an experience. It was the experience of a lifetime. It's astonishing.
That's amazing for all the things that you've done. That's the first time you were ever invited to a convention.
Yeah.
Really, I'm flabbergasted because of all the stuff you've done. It's
well, you know,
to me.
mostly the things that I've done have been, you know, it's the role that's kind of on the fringes, and it's the role that or the one that nobody cares about really, or you know, and that's not no judgment in that. I just, you know, that's just the way that it falls down sometimes.
Right.
And that's I think what's so astonishing about doing Macintosh ultimately is that it sort of, you know, when I got cast, it was like, okay, well, he's the guy who's going to say one word here or there, and and people are going to just forget him, and it's just going to. And plus, you know, you thought, well, this is a show for little girls anyway, and you know, little girls don't have conventions, and so you know, like it was really, really not on my radar at all, and so. And I just come out of having done a couple of seasons of Gundam 00, where I played Ian Vashti, the Gundam tech, and he was somewhere in this kind of range.
Yeah.
But nobody cared about Ian Vashti. He, you know, all of they kept me aside to sign autographs at the end of the session on the very last day, and look through the big book of, you know, how many requests did I receive, and the answer turned out to be 0. And I was the only actor in the show that happened to, and and so you sort of learn, okay, well,
you're a side character.
Know, yeah, I'm a side character. I'm not the guy that is glamorous, and so you just learn to not expect things, and ultimately I think that was a really good lesson, because otherwise you approach things with a sense of entitlement that is you know, not true anyway. There is no, I'm not entitled to anything that's happening. It's marvelous that it's happening. It's not owed to me.
We had that same conversation with Lee last weekend.
Yeah, and it's just lucky and lovely, and I'm, as I've said a couple of times, I really am grateful for it, and that's it. You know, nothing but grateful.
Well, we are really looking forward to season 3 and see what happens with all your characters, and see which ones come back. We know Big Macintosh is coming back because he's like a main side character, but who else you get to voice this year is going to be awesome. See if Jet Set comes back, or if Doc Monitor has to splint Rainbow's wing again. She just happens to like to crash a lot. But we are actually at the end of the show. You want to hang around a little bit longer?
Sure, I'll hang around a bit longer.
Awesome! More questions.
Yay! Yes! I love that so much when that happens. This one's from Phoenix for all. With the now canon map of Equestria, what location would you most like to travel to?
I have to blow that one up on my screen and really give it a good study. You know, I love traveling too, so I would go everywhere.
Absolutely.
If I could really go.
Yes.
Go everywhere.
I would probably go to Las Pegasus first because I love Las Vegas. Love going to Las Vegas. So I want to go to Las Pegasus, and I want to roll the bones. I want to see how the dice fall on a cloud table, and see if I can like make a couple of bits over there. And then I would go to the pinball museum in Las Pegasus because I know they got pinball somewhere. They got the worldwide pinball museum in Las Vegas, which I still need to go to, and I'm sure they got one in Las Pegasus too. So, and then we'd go see Siegfried and Roy, which I'm sure are a couple of Pegasus illusionists that are using, pure white manticores in their magic show. I'd have to see that, and then I'd have to go see.
I think I'll just tag along.
Yeah, I'd have to go see Blue Mare Group. I'd have to go see the Blue Mare Group.
Yes.
And then because I'm sure the rhythm section in the Blue Mare Group is just awesome.
Yeah,
I hear.
And I think Stomp is opening.
Yep. I think Stomp is opening there too. So and I'm sure they go through horseshoes like you wouldn't believe on that show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go to Las Pegasus. That's what I'm thinking. Too much to do there. Absolutely.
Can't rely here. I just want to see all the high class society.
I'm sure you'll meet Jet Set there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore how much that map reminds me of maps from the L. Frank Baum books about Oz.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I love the north and the south, the Emerald City at the center, and I used to, when I was a kid, I loved all of those books, and I used to study the Oz map, and as soon as I saw that image, I just it was so evocative of the map of Oz that I have in my head. I thought, how great.
I love it.
I don't know why it's so great to me. But
I love where it says Griffins that way, Dragons be here, and Northern Climes, and Van Hoofer. It's like.
This one is from Wub and Tolerate. Any tips for those who want to become voice actors?
Yeah, act. Be an actor. Voice is second to acting, and you gotta learn how to break a scene down, and do it instinctively, which is the job of the actor.
I'm sure there's a lot of community theater in different areas, and you don't really. And community theater groups are always looking for new people to come and act, and they will teach you. They will teach you a lot.
Get in front of a crowd. Because there's nothing like, and I learned this with comedy, and I think if you can get involved with an improv troupe or a sketch comedy troupe or do stand up, anything that gets you in front of the audience as a comedian is a great way to get you involved in voice acting too, because you really learn what's successful and what isn't successful, because the audience does not lie. If it's funny, they laugh.
Yep.
If it's not funny, they don't laugh. And if you have the intestinal fortitude to take your material back to the drawing board every time you don't get a laugh and figure out why, then you will be able to deal with the peaks and valleys of an acting career, which I find in voice acting is intensified in certain ways.
That happened to me. That happened to me on a stage once, where we laughed our heads off to something we wrote, and on a stage thing, and then we got on stage, and the audience didn't get it.
Yeah, it's happened to me both ways, where you kill yourself laughing about something, and you put it on stage, and they just don't laugh. And it's happened the other way too, where I'm looking at a thing that some of my comedy partners have written that they think is funny, and I just think is the most dire thing ever, and we put it up on stage. The audience loves it. I am left to go, well, all right. I will that bit then, even though I think it's terrible. Yep. The audience is the barometer.
We have a comedy troupe here called Comedy Sports, which basically it's two sides, two teams, and they try to get the audience to laugh, and they keep score and all this kind of stuff. And you can actually get on one of these teams to do. Go up there and be part of it. It's kind of funny. I've never done it myself. I've had friends who've done it.
Is that improvised?
Yeah, it's improv. It's improv all the time. It's all improv.
We have theater sports here in Vancouver does the same thing.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, it can be really, really funny, and that's it's a great way to get your just to get yourself going, so that you can switch characters, switch voices, switch intentions very quickly, and building intentions and all those things that actors need to be able to do. Because once you know how to act, you can act with a voice on. But if you can only do a voice without knowing how to act, well, then it's going to sound empty and hollow when you read it off the page.
Yep.
And have lines.
It's pretty funny. Sometimes you want to do that. You want to be the bad actor, but it's like.
Yeah, but even that you have to be able to motivate, right?
Yep.
If you're playing a bad actor, you have to be able to motivate it well. You have to be a really good actor to play a bad actor.
I can see that.
This one is from Mac Attack. Question for everyone: who do you think would win? Who would win in an all-out battle for Cheerilee's heart, Big Mac or Overhaul, which is Dusty's OC pony?
Big Mac.
Really?
Big Mac.
Really?
Big Mac.
We're gonna have this out, I think.
Oh no!
I think me and Big Mac are gonna have to go back behind the barn and have a talk.
Big Mac. If Big Mac really wanted Cheerilee's heart, Big Mac can go ahead and win it. He's whatever. He's the pony.
Yeah, maybe. But we'd have to have a talk about it. I might help him get Cheerilee's heart because I know Cheerilee's heart back from the '80s, right? He might come to me for some suggestions.
I think Big Mac is just ultimately he's shy.
Yes, I think so.
He probably needs help.
Overhaul would be, the outgoing friend that would help Big Mac win Cheerilee's heart by sitting behind the bush and giving him lines as he's strumming his ukulele and serenading her underneath her window. Sort of Cyrano de Bergerac going on here, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I think ultimately maybe, Overhaul Big Mac might just soften and realize that maybe Overhaul and Cheerilee are a better match after all.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it happen. Hey, we just wrote an episode. Oh, I love it.
Macatek says it should be animated by Ask the Crusaders.
There you go. We always
there
ask.
You go.
We always ask him.
There you go. Sure.
This one is from Pyro Brony. Question for Peter. Favorite pony other than Big Mac?
Oh, it's so hard to choose. I think Rarity's father is my favorite one other than Big Mac that I've played. I really like him.
He is so northern Michigan.
Yeah.
I loved his accent. It was like...
I'm glad.
I know guys like that. Because I grew up in Michigan. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay? I can see the western Upper Peninsula. And it's like, that's that guy.
That's exactly what I was going for,
really?
too.
Oh, awesome. You nailed it. You nailed it. I could see Lake Superior University, because I had a friend of mine that went there. And I was like, yeah, that's that guy. That was awesome. And the footballs on his hip were like, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, well, he was really fun to do.
Speaking of,
it was fun. I like that joke too. I like that. I liked that. So much of what I like about My Little Pony is I think the sense of humor in it is really good, and I like that joke that Rarity had these, sort of opposite parents.
Completely.
They were so, football watching
and
eating off each other's plates. Just kind of. I love the.
Yes, I've been giving her lessons. She'll have a cooking cutie mark before the end of the summer. I love it. She puts the bowl down. It's like, what's this? Applesauce? No, toast. It's like, what?
That gives me chills every time I see that.
Speaking of ukulele, do you want to play a song for us?
Oh, well, can I play? I don't know. I'm not that good. I'll sing this. I'll do, and again, it will be awkward. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sweet apple tree. Dream, what am I doing? Dream a little dream of me. Just hold me tight and what am I singing? Kiss me.
Bing Crosby, I think.
Say, I forgot my words now. Tell me you'll miss me. No, I forgot all the words. Never mind.
You had this Bing Crosby thing going on for like 2 seconds. I was like, oh, he's doing Bing Crosby. It's awesome.
So you can do it again here. I'm feeling nervous. Can't quite get there.
I'm feeling nervous with my ukulele.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Sunbirds singing in a sweet apple tree.
Dream a little dream of me.
Say nighty night and kiss me.
Yeah,
Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. Forget it now.
Final draft says it sounds like a mix of Perry Como and Bing Crosby.
Yeah. Well, it's it's I'm just
playing. It's fun.
As I say, like I'm quite happy to belt it in my room by myself. Yes. It's a total hobby, but I get quite nervous about playing it.
See, I like doing that kind of stuff because it's different than everybody else in the fandom. Everybody's doing dubstep and all this other kind of stuff, but I do rock and I do country and I do folk and I do all of that stuff.
Somebody asked me at BronyCon if what Big Mac's favorite song would be, and I thought it was that one, but it's not in the right key for me to be able to sing it in his voice. Unfortunately, it's either too high or too low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have that problem sometimes when I find a song.
I don't know how to transpose it.
I find a song that I love. I've loved since I was a kid, and I want to sing it, but it's like half an octave too high or half an octave too low, and I have to change it, and it doesn't sound right. You know, I do all this work to do the lyrics for the song, and then I can't do it. It hurts.
It's hard, yeah.
Peter, actually, one guy was asking if you could play any, Arcane was asking if you could play any My Little Pony songs on your ukulele.
No, I really need the ukulele tab in a little book to be able to do these things. I'm not. I've just learned this one. I don't know if I can. Whoops. When I get older, lose my hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine? Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. If I went out until 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? You'll be older too. And if you say the word, I'll be there with you. It could be handy, mending a fuse when your lights are low. You could knit the sweater by the fireside. Sunday mornings, go for a ride. Go in the garden, digging the weeds. Who could ask for more? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Every summer we could rent a cottage in the Isle of Wight if it's not too dear. We shall scrimp and save. Grandchildren on your knee, Veer, Shock, and Dave. Send me a postcard, drop me a line, stating point of view. Indicate precisely what you mean to say. You're sincerely wasting away. Give me your answer, fill in a form, mine forevermore. Will you still need me? Will you still feel me when I'm 64? There you go.
Yeah!
Awesome!
That's awesome.
Sweet!
Almost made.
Final Draft asks me if we want to do a duet at Everfree Northwest.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's like in here.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, he also says if we do a duet together, record it.
Wow. I guess we'd have.
I'd do it. You play it, you do it, play it your side. Yeah, send me what you got, and I'll sing my side.
Well, we'll see. I still get nervous.
Oh, it's fun. It's all in fun. Absolutely. And on top of that, you can record in your bedroom, and it doesn't have bad take. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, we'll talk. But anyway,
We'll talk.
Screw
We'll talk.
Oh, I'm gonna have nightmares now. Oh, this one is from Rainbow Ash, and question for New is, what is the oddest thing you have ever voiced? I think I know the answer to that.
The oddest thing, I did a show which called Dream Kicks, which never really went as far as everybody hoped it would. We did about 11 episodes of it. But I played a chicken named DeSanctus, who had was an incredible soccer striker, but had no memory whatsoever, and lived in a single room with a light bulb. It was a bear. That's his voice.
That must have been hard on you.
Oh no, that's super easy.
Is it? Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Sounds like it would really tear your voice up.
Oh no. That I can do.
I need lessons because that'd tear me up.
Well, it's all about opening your throat up, and people, I think when they start, I think in singing it's probably the same, but when you're going for the high notes, you tend to want to lift your chin and stretch your throat out. When you go for the low notes, you do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Both of the things stretch your vocal cords out in a way that is unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And really what you want to do is just drop your chin and relax your jaw and just go forward. It's about vocal placement too, right? Like that voice is...
It's all up in the center of my head, and I just think in terms of, if you put the voice kind of in the middle of the back of your neck somehow.
And I think that's where the voice lives.
Ah, gotcha.
It's actually...
remarkably relaxed and easy, just living there.
Okay, I see that from my singing. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to try that later. Cool.
This is a hard question. This one's from Sketchy Wolf 13, and question is, what is your least favorite episode?
Probably any episode he's not in.
It's a tie. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a tie. All of the ones I'm not in.
That's a
I
big.
don't know.
That's a small tie. There's not many.
There's I don't know. I don't think this show it's tough to say which the least favorite one is, because it's a qualified answer anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all good. So it's like saying what's your you have 5 delicious pieces of 5 delicious beers in front of you, and which is your least favorite? Well, I don't know. They're all good.
They're all good. You have 5 pieces of cheesecake in front of you. Which one is the worst?
Right. Exactly.
None of them, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
I can't really. Yeah. There's no real answer to that.
Nope.
That question. for me.
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
I forewarned, it's hard.
Pick some good ones, Screwy. We got about 5 minutes left.
Okay, this one's from Webber Tolerate. How long have you been playing the ukulele?
A few months.
That's pretty good for a few months.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I've been playing the guitar for a long time, years and years and years. And I just have a ukulele in the house and figured it out.
Cool.
So I'm still learning. I can play like 4 songs, and obviously one of them better than some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was starting with my strongest, but I clearly wasn't.
Next one is from, oops, I have to scroll over. This one's from Pyrox52. Question is, what is your favorite show?
Favorite TV show? I have a great fondness. Again, I find it tough to answer favorite questions because I'm not. I like a lot of different things for a lot of different reasons. I answered this question before, but there's a British sketch comedy show called The League of Gentlemen, which I am very fond of. Although I watched a little bit of it again fairly recently and found that it's quite dated.
It's sort of like The Young Ones, which was a wonderful comedy show for its era, but it's so dated now. It's so
dated, yeah. And so you're trying to always watch it with that in mind, because at the time the League of Gentlemen was so cutting edge and strange, and I hadn't seen anything like it before. But of course, since then, shows like Little Britain, which do essentially the same thing, have come along and taken it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And so you end up going back to League of Gentlemen, and it is not as avant-garde and not as like part of what was so enjoyable about it when I first watched it was that it was so unbelievable that they were doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't seem nearly so unbelievable.
Well, it's sort of like Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
When Ren
exactly.
and Stimpy came out, it was so cutting edge. For its
and now
day.
you watch it and it's like, oh, okay, guys, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm always able to appreciate shows like that, even though they're dated. It's just you have to understand what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that. Lately, I've been enjoying the British. I like a lot of British shows, I guess. I've been enjoying Sherlock a lot with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman in it. That is a tremendous show. I'm looking forward to season 3. And I'm a big fan of shows like Firefly and Doctor Who and Torchwood. I think it's pretty fun. And, in terms of my British stuff, in terms of American stuff, I'm a big fan of Mad Men, and I'm a big fan. But again, like it's how different a show is that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
big fan of Rome and much of the HBO stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yes. This one is from Phoenix. I reword this one a bit. Is have you ever had any weird fan encounters before?
No, nothing particularly strange. I mean, most people I've found so far have been very respectful and very human, and so I haven't really had any particularly strange encounters. Although, you know, every now and then there's a person that doesn't quite get it. You know, I'm just a guy going to work.
Yep.
And this is the job that I do, and it's a nice side effect that it comes with this notoriety. But it's you know, I'm happy to talk to people. I'm happy to just hang out and say hello, because it's just a job that I'm going to, and I think some people, I don't know, they get overwhelmed by celebrity or whatever it is, and that strains the conversation a bit. But I've never had anything that I can say anything worse about than that it strains the conversation a bit. You know, so that's pretty tame.
Very legit. Okay, we're at the last question, dude. Make it good.
Okay, this is a good one. I've been holding this one off for a little bit. This one's from Mac Attack. Question for Peter: is there anything you'd like to see more from the community?
No, keep doing what you're doing, because keep growing. I want to see you grow, because I think that the philosophy and the mandate, if you will, of friendship and tolerance, I think can take over the world, and I think it ought to.
I do too. So that is our show for the evening, people. And we're going to go with the last thing we do, which is the weekly call out of shows right here on Everfree Radio. And this is an on week for Reading Rainboom. Reading Rainboom is the bi-weekly show dedicated to producing high-quality recordings of fan fiction here in the fandom, featuring a large cast of experienced voice actors. So you have more of an immersed feeling of your fan fiction, and they will be this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Cutie Art Crusaders, which is the group that take the best fan art in the Bronies have to offer and break it down for you. And they bring the good stuff out and tell you why it's so good. And that is Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. EQI, Equestrian Inquirer, comedy and news straight from Ponyville, is Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Sketchy Sounds live songcast, where Sketchy will, for 2 hours, play guitar for you. That's Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Then we get the Brony Breakdown with Saber, Spark, and Paleo. And they will break down everything from the week, the good stuff, all in one package for you, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Then we get to the Luna Republic Takeover Show, which is the all-request radio hour, 2 hours actually, with Your Queen Nightmare Moon, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Then we get to Saturday Night Songs with Michelle Krieber. This week there will be 2 songs, not just one. 2 songs premiered this week. One produced by Daniel Ingram.
What?
What is right? One produced by Daniel Ingram. One orchestrated by Stephen Andrews.
It's coming. What?
Don't miss it. And there's a contest to guess which song that Daniel Ingram produced on her Facebook page. So go over there for the clues. Then we get to A State of Brony, which is the trance, electro, and house music show, Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. The last show of the week is Radiant Eclipse podcast, Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So that is your slate of shows for the week, and we are just about there. I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us this evening. I want to thank Peter for his time to come and join us. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome. I want to thank you for having me on and having this be such a delight. I was except for when I felt a little bit of song pressure and I couldn't get my ukulele going.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I thought you'd have fun.
Come on.
I had
it was good. It was real good.
Awesome. So, with that, everybody, I'm going to thank Screwball and Cowboy Dave and 8-Track and Final Draft and everybody who's ever come on my show. Thank you. And thank you all for coming and joining us. And thanks. With that, I'm going to go talk to Peter New about possible stuff. So, stay tuned. See you next week.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night. sweetheart, good night.